One of the terms that we always get to hear about is the data strategy. And we hear that from all of our clients, many of the business leaders. What's the data strategy? It has taken even more of a significance in the business after COVID, because everybody is looking at how exactly they can leverage their data for further monetization, further improvement in their business performance, further improvement in their customer experience. So data strategy is one of the key elements. And I thought in this video, I'll just uncover very practical things that we have seen around data strategy. What are those common challenges our clients have seen? We have helped them resolve some of those challenges as well. And what are those common things that we have seen in the world working with so many enterprise clients across the globe? First of all, complexity. The very first thing that we have seen is the complexity of the data strategy. There are so many dimensions to data strategy. How do you access all of the data? Who can access it? What kind of value are you going to get out of the data? How would you secure all of the data? What are the technology elements that are going to be embedded in the data? What would be the architecture? What would be the storage elements for data? There's so many different dimensions to the data strategy, and that creates a complex environment around this data strategy itself. So that's one element we have seen. Complexity is one of the key things, which is a challenge to really get your head around how to contain this data strategy as a topic. The second point is practicality. Now, with a subject that is so complex, how do you really identify what kind of things are really feasible in your business? How do you bring in that feasibility dimension to your data strategy? And we all know you could really define a very good data strategy in theory on paper, but no strategy is good if it is not implementable. So how do you bring in that practicality around your data strategy for your business context? And that's an important aspect which revolves around this data strategy topic. And I think that's a challenge as well that most businesses see, how to convert this data strategy into a practical strategy that will work for the business. The third thing that we have seen is the prioritization. There are so many different use cases and business cases that you would see in the business. And the key aspect is, can you identify what function, what part of your business is more ready to deliver results with that strategy? How do you prioritize the low-hanging fruits over there? How can you think about it in the short term, mid-term, and long term? So how do you define that? Prioritization is one of the important dimensions of the data strategy, and it becomes a challenge as to how do you really define what needs to go in first, what are the other dependencies, can you deliver that success in the right way, what comes next, how do you keep building upon that delivery, if you like. So that's the prioritization is one of the other key dimensions as the challenge within the data strategy build. And finally, you have the sponsorship challenge. One of the things we have seen with most businesses is if you keep it to a data strategy level, then it's very difficult to get everybody behind that. We always say to our clients, and we take them onto this journey of being outcome driven. If you want to be data driven, you have to be first outcome driven for your businesses. And hence we say outcomes and not outputs. So how do you become outcome driven so that you already have that sponsorship? You'll have much better sponsorship if you take the business case to your sponsors and your board members to say, this is the kind of benefits or the impact that you're going to see on the business, and then ask for that sponsorship for the data strategy. So I'm already kind of giving you a solution around that, but sponsorship from the key stakeholders, the board, the heads of some of the functions, that sponsorship is very important, and it cannot be only a 3-month sponsorship or 6-month sponsorship. It's a journey that the businesses have to define. So getting that sponsorship right is a very important dimension of the data strategy as well. So these are the 4 common challenges that we have seen when an organization has to define a very robust, practical, and implementable data strategy. Now, how to overcome these challenges that we have just talked about? There are certain very simple steps that you could take that we have taken with our clients as well, and they have proven really beneficial, and we have been able to deliver a lot of success with that data strategy. The very first thing is simplify all of these complex areas of the data strategy that we talked about. Your strategy, your technology, your architecture, your access, your security, storage, all of these things. So if you can simplify this whole data strategy complexity area into just four aspects, which is, what is your data governance, what is your data compliance, what are your data operations, and what is your data value, you can pretty much encapsulate all of the other seemingly complex areas that we talked about for data strategy into these four areas. And trust me, that'll work very, very nicely for everyone. Everybody can connect with those four simple areas. And that really resolves and simplifies the complexity part within data strategy. The other aspect that we look at is alongside these four pillars of the data capabilities, if you like, there's something called as 4DDI, four-dimensional data insights that we have come up with. It's a model which starts with the business goals. So if you look at the business goals and you align all of your strategy and your sponsorship to the business goals, it will be a much easier way of demonstrating the value from this data strategy. So if you look at those business case, if you look at those outcomes, business goals that you can then assign the data strategy elements to, much better, much easier. The other aspect is, how do you really define a roadmap, right? Work out a roadmap for the prioritization and practicality of it, and work that roadmap out, going 1 year, 2 years, 3 years out. And you can define how you are going to be building that value up, and helping the board members as well and the heads of visualize when exactly some of the benefits are going to be dropping for various business functions. And that kind of takes care of the prioritization and the practicality aspect of the data strategy. Now, of course, all of these things are easier said than done. We all know that, but these are the kind of simple steps that we have taken with our clients, and we have seen immense value out of this. It not only gets the business behind it, it also demonstrates how the investment is going to reap the benefits for the business. So these are kind of the ways in which you can address these four common challenges that we have seen with data strategy.